guys, Donna here doing a little cooking and thought I'd just show you this recipe I've been into with greens, cooked greens that is. It involves some mushroom and onion and kidney beans and some cilantro herb balsamic vinegar, which is absolutely delicious. So just thought I'd show you a little bit. All right, so I have the onions chopped a bit here, and the mushrooms just kind of coarsely chopped. Some kale, this is just out of a bag, a pre-washed bag of kale. And then some kidney beans that I had left over. They are drained and rinsed from a can. And then this California Balsamic, Cilantro Herb Balsamic vinegar. I don't know if you've ever tried California Balsamic, but it is fabulous. They have every flavor that I've tried, I just adore. So highly recommend. So I'll begin by basically preheating a nonstick pan to kind of medium-high heat. Then I'm going to lower it a little bit just before adding the onions. And then we'll let them get a little translucent. And then add the or not quite translucent, just let them cook a little bit. And then I'm going to add the mushrooms. The mushrooms will add tons of liquid. So there's really no need for oil here. You can just cook with the onion and mushroom and it works fabulous. And I'll just let the mushrooms cook a bit and then throw in the kale. So you'll see it's quite easy, a really easy recipe. Okay, I have this nonstick pan. It's about a 12-inch nonstick pan, preheated, and then turn the heat down just a bit. I'm going to add these diced onions and let them just kind of toss them around. Now see, this is dry. There's no need for oil. I'm just going to toss these around. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is optional. I do like to add just a tiny bit of salt when I do the onions. It helps them kind of release their juices a little bit. And adds, of course, a little bit of flavor, but that is completely optional. Many people need to be salt-free, and decreasing the sodium in our diets is super beneficial. I guess I feel like I use a little bit of it here and there, and I almost never eat much processed food or really limit it quite a bit. That processed food that has a lot of sodium in it. You know, a lot of these prepackaged things that we can buy all over the place. Fast food, food out to eat, prepackaged food at the grocery store often has tons and tons of sodium in it. But if you're cooking for yourself and cooking things from scratch and cooking these vegetables that have very little, if any, sodium in them at all, most of the day, all day, every day, I feel like I can add a tiny bit of salt for flavor, and I don't. At least that's where I'm at right now with it. I may someday end up using no salt, but right now I'd use a little bit every once in a while. Or, you know, here and there. So I'm just kind of keeping these onions moving now to let them begin to cook here, get some of their flavor released. I'm just going to raise up the temp just a titch. I do often use a stainless steel pan. I'm sorry, I do sometimes use a stainless steel pan, but I often use a non-stick pan because this one is just amazing. I really, not an affiliate or anything, but this pan is from Misen, M-I-S-E-N, and we use it several times a day generally, and it's just been holding up fantastic, and we just love it. Things sometimes, you know, stick a tiny bit, but they come right out. Very, very easy to clean. So you can see this starting to, like a lot of the onions are starting to become a little bit translucent. So then, sorry about the tapping there. I'm going to add the mushrooms now. And these, like I mentioned earlier, are going to give off quite a bit of liquid as they cook. You can kind of hear it starting to sizzle a bit. Maybe you can hear that, I don't know. Let these cook until those mushrooms start releasing their juices. You know, I chopped these mushrooms kind of large. They could be chopped much finer. You could leave them out. You don't have to have the mushrooms. I just enjoy them, and it's a nice way to get some good nutrients in a nice wide variety of flavors and nutrients, and different types of fiber and things. So I'm going to, you'll see this kind of cooking away. Now I'm gonna, the onions are pretty translucent. I'm gonna let the mushrooms just cook here for a bit. There, you can kind of see I'm getting shiny. See that liquid starting to come out? Yum, yum, yum. I tell ya. You know, once you know, I think people within this group are in all different stages of transitioning, or even just potentially adding more plants to their diet, which is also wonderful. Some people are fully transitioned to a whole food plant-based diet, and some are just adding more plants. Everyone is absolutely welcome here. But as you may notice, as you incorporate more and more plants into your diet and limit more and more super highly palatable foods, like highly processed foods, you'll start to actually change your taste buds. Believe it or not, they actually change, and you end up starting to really taste this real and simple food, and it tastes and smells fabulous. I think these mushrooms are ready, so I'm going to dump in the kale here. Oops, lost one there. And sometimes I use even more kale than this, but this is what I had left in the bag, so I'm going with it. Put that aside. We'll be down to just these two ingredients and let this cook. But it's amazing how you can really, the flavors, you really start appreciating the flavors of all these varied vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds. And it's it's really neat to transition and really exciting. And the thing that excites me too is all the color in this food. I mean, it's just so full of nutrients that our body is just so craving. There's so many foods in our food environment that are just really not food anymore. They end up being more like food fragments, or food substitutes, food-like substances. So many, or frankenfoods, sometimes you hear it called. And we've kind of forgotten what real food tastes like. And so I'm so glad that I finally sort of saw the light, so to speak. I'm just going to chop this piece up a little bit, a little big. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not chopping that up. To realize and reset my taste buds and my health dramatically by going in the whole food plant-based direction and continuing to improve that as time goes on. Okay, now you can see the kale got nice and bright colored there. I think that's just so fun watching the colors. So that's ready. I'm gonna just put in the kidney beans. These, again, were drained and rinsed. It's about, not quite a half a can probably. I think that's about what I had left of like a 15-ounce can. And we're just about done. I just really at this point want the kidney beans heated up. And then sit for just a bit and I'll mess this out. Just rinsing out a plate there. I'm gonna get ready for this delicious cilantro herb balsamic. Kidney beans heated, almost probably. Okay. I'm going to turn off the heat. And I am going to stop for a moment and get this plated and show you the drizzling of the balsamic. Okay, now we've got this beautiful large kind of pasta bowl full of this fabulous kale, mushrooms, onions, and kidney beans. Tiny bit of salt on the onions earlier, as you saw. This is the, just put it where you can see it here, California Balsamic, Cilantro Herb Balsamic. It says to shake well, which is important. This has these herbs in here can get kind of caught up in the neck of the bottle, so I do shake that. I'm just going to drizzle this over this delicious cooked greens dish. There we go. This California Balsamic, again, I'm not a affiliate for this either. I just love it. It has several of their varieties, maybe the majority of their balsamics, are sugar, oil, and salt free. So they are very, very healthy, unbelievably flavorful. It's like hard to believe that so much flavor can come out of something without any sugar, oil, or salt in it. Really impressive. So if you want to see this a little bit closer up, share that with you. I'll be looking forward to trying this out. Okay, I'm here to enjoy this wonderful, beautiful cooked greens dish. You can see how beautiful that is. Maybe I'll try to hold it up so you can see it a little better as I eat it. Yeah, that California Balsamic makes a huge difference and just really bumps up the flavor like crazy. So good. I'm telling you, I'm like in heaven. Probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, probably about 10 years ago. I don't know. Time fluctuates. I probably never would have expected myself to enjoy a big, huge bowl of greens like this. I would have never imagined it. Cooked greens was just not something I ever even thought of. Greens are so incredibly healthful for us. They're like one of the greens and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and things like that. Kale are super, super healthy. They help decrease inflammation, chronic inflammation throughout the body that wreaks all sorts of havoc in the body. They really help our bodies heal. Our bodies really want to heal themselves if we would just stop getting in the way. And eating greens and healthful, plentiful variety of plant foods is the way to do that. I'm enjoying my improved health since I began this way of eating about 4.5 years ago now. It's amazing. It's just amazing, and I love it. And I'd love to help anyone here that would like to learn more. I hope you're enjoying this group and the blog and the recipes. Love it when people are able to participate. That really helps get a little more traction on the blog and on the group for more people to see it and learn this life-saving information. So again, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic day.